What's up, everybody? It's your boy Brandon Blakeney, aka Brandon Lee TV. Kick back, relax, and come take a ride with me. It's about that time. Football season is upon us, week 0, baby. And everybody's locked in on the different levels from the Power 5 to the freaking NAIA. Like, everybody's ready to get it in. And I know we talk a lot about the FBS teams, but there are some major storylines in the FCS as well this year. New coaches, new guys on the map program-wise, traditional powers bringing back loaded rosters. We gotta talk about it, baby. Let's get into it.
You are now locked into the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Here is your host, Brandon Blakeney.
It seems like the trophy and everything else will run through Brookings, South Dakota this year. Those Jackrabbits, South Dakota State, returns arguably the most talented team in the entire FCS next year, man. I mean, total, they put 20 players on all conference teams or honorable mentions, including 8 on the first team. Yes, they are stacked. They do have a first-year head coach, but he's been around the block for a while. Jimmy Rogers is in his first season, taking over for the legendary John Stiegelmeier. Led by quarterback Mark Gronowski, the Jackrabbits look like they're in great shape to run it back, man. I'm telling you, he's a guy that's been there for a few years. Now, he tore his ACL back in 2021 as a freshman, came back last year and absolutely put up numbers. He can run, he's mobile, he can get it out, make the throws quickly to these receivers on the outside, these physical receivers that the Jackrabbits have. He's confident, he's poised, and he's proven that he can win at the biggest stage. With Gronowski at the helm, Rodgers and the bunch should be exceptional once again, and that defense is going to be stout as well. They're not giving up anything easy. It's going to take a lot to dethrone those Jackrabbits this season. I'm going to just tell you straight up. Another first-year head coach, Andy Thompson out of Sacramento State. He's been their defensive coordinator since 2019, but they've got a lot of buzz around this team, and he should continue to lift that up, man. One of the top teams out on the West, wreaking havoc on the defensive side of the ball, and you imagine that will continue next season. They really proved that defense can win you games, but it will be exciting to see the transfer Carson Camp come in as well at the quarterback position. He had a solid 2 seasons at South Dakota. He was on the 2021 Missouri Valley Football Conference all-newcomer team. Last season, he passed for over 2,000 yards and 17 touchdowns. So they're bringing in an experienced signal caller to, 1, help transition a new head coach, but 2, keep up this momentum that they've built, man. They were one of the more exciting teams last season as far as just watching how their defense attacked the football. We can't talk about FCS without mentioning the power program, the juggernaut, North Dakota State University out in Fargo. Man, Coach Matt Ince and his squad have been dominant. They've won 7 of the last 10 national championships. So it was actually a shock to see them lose last year in the big game. They battled some up and downs on the offensive side, especially just with turnovers at times, as well as the limitations on the big plays. We're used to seeing big chunk plays from this program, and they didn't have a whole lot of explosiveness at times last year. So they bring back Cam Miller as well as Tamarick Williams and Zach Mathis. So lots of talent on the offensive side of the ball. I think they return as much talent as just about anybody else in the country on both sides of the ball. But the offense has a lot of experience now. Cam Miller, in his second full season coming back as the starting quarterback, showed that he will and can run that football. So that adds a whole different dynamic to this offense, man. I look for North Dakota State to have the Fargo Dome rocking. And, hey, they might have those violins ready for Frisco next season. We'll see. I don't know if there's a player that's going to be harder to replace than Lindsey Scott Jr., the Walter Payton Award winner from last year for Incarnate Word. That's a lot of production. But I am interested to see what Texas A&M transfer Zach Calzada does. They landed the Power 5 signal caller in the transfer portal, so I'm thinking if he lives up to the hype, the Cardinals will be just fine. But it'll be interesting to see how he adjusts and if his talent is able to really be unlocked at that school. Idaho comes in at 13th in the country, but they bring back one of the most talented players in all of the FCS in Giovanni McCoy. Now, he won the Jerry Rice Award last year, given to the top freshman in the FCS. He is a issue with the football in his hands, and he led the Vandals to the postseason. I think if he's able to take another leap, this team will really get over the hump and may be able to shock some people and make a run in the playoffs. But they will go as he goes. A couple HBCUs made the top 25 as well. North Carolina Central at 16 and Florida A&M at 21. Now, Central is the reigning Celebration Bowl champions. They have a really, really good quarterback in Davius Richard. And the defense is absolutely stout, man. That front seven, those linebackers are athletic. They're physical. They've got a defensive line that is going to pressure the quarterback and really lock down those trenches, man. They're going to be physical up front, and they've got some ball hawks in that secondary that can attack the football at the highest point, man. I think they got a chance of making a return trip to Atlanta in December, so we'll see. On the other side, in the SWAC, you got Florida A&M, man. Now, you remember they got into a little trouble having Real Boston Richie making rap videos in their locker room. So Coach Willie Simmons, Mr. Serious, was not having it, shut it down, but it looks like everything is back on track now. I love Jeremy Musa with this group, man. A quarterback with NFL size, a big arm. He's athletic, can really move the chains with his feet. Physical runner, finishes plays, but I love the big arm, man. He can make every throw you need a player to make. He was rightfully named as the preseason SWAC Player of the Year, and I think he takes the award. I honestly think he is one of the best quarterbacks in all of the FCS, and he has pro potential. I mean, seriously, the kid is the real deal. Love the swagger, the demeanor, and the poise. So that's part one. We'll do some more, but that's just some big storylines that I'm looking at leading up to week 0 in FCS play. Let me know how you feel about it, man. Comment, let me know. Whose teams are you watching? What squads are going to make some upsets? Who's coming? Who's a dark horse? Let me know. Holler at your boy. And for all the latest and the greatest, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I'm Brandon Blakeney, a.k.a. Brandon Lee TV. Until next time, hey, we out.